Groundbreaker. Independent orbital station in the remains of Hallison's first colony ship, captained by Junlei Tennyson and run by descendants of the original crew.
Destination.
Spacer's Choice Travel Advisory. Welcome to the system map. Here you can see all the planets in the system as well as some special points of interest that you may have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location that you have unlocked, though some landing bays require special codes and keys before they allow you to land there. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous, and all employees are encouraged to remain home or at work.
Mission reached. The Groundbreaker.
Hey, Cap. Can we talk?
Sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
I thought you said you could keep this boat in good repair.
I abso-surely can. I'm a passing fair mechanic. Even Mr. Thompson would have said it's my only skill. But I'm used to working on cannery lines, AG loaders and the like. There's tricks about ships I ain't learned yet. All I'm looking for is a few pointers. I bet a lady who runs a whole station has forgot more than I ever learned.
Sure, we can head over to engineering now.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Break time's over.
Good luck, Captain.
Oh, you can take 2 people with you. That's pretty cool.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. Need a drink.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of an argument earlier.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I'd like to hear your side. What happened?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Sounds like you're better off on your own.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Imagine me wasting my life loading boxes, unloading boxes, watching the ships roll in and take off. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
That's me, Captain of the Unreliable.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
Never caught your name, I'm Zymoxy.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I'll see you around, Felix.
See you around, boss.
I got a feeling that guy's gonna try to join our crew.
We move cargo 16 hours a day, and half of us still can't afford a bed.
Wanted, Phineas V. Wellis, for various crimes and violations of board policy, including any or all of the following: sedition, forgery, conspiracy, conspiracy to commit conspiracy, unlicensed medical practice, destruction of board property.
I wonder what that fella did to get the board so wild at him.
Wanted, Gunnar MacRed. Captain Gunnar MacRed, for several counts of public intoxication, destruction of Groundbreaker property, unpaid docking fees, and resisting arrest. Contact Commandant Sanita if you have any information concerning MacRed's whereabouts. Failure to report a tip may result in imprisonment and a fine. Proof of kill required to collect the reward.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
Customs and inspection, right this way!
Identification, please.
My name's Zymoxy. It's my first time here.
You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Sure did. And now we're in space!
Well, welcome to Groundbreaker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
Great. I'll go talk to him and straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Seems like there's some tension between the board and the Groundbreaker.
You noticed, huh?
I'm sharp like that.
What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Yet your station's in a state of disrepair. You could make the board fix it.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway.
What can you tell me about Udom Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
The board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Thanks for the info.
Sure thing.
I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around here.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the board.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere with all these company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
How does Groundbreaker fit into that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
Got it.
Glad to help.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
I didn't think there were many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
I'm looking for something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
How about something long-term?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
That's all I need to know about work.
All right.
I'll see you around.
Be seeing you.
So my ship is impounded. But it's saying that I need to go back to my ship.
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I can't let you near it till it's not.
Can you help me get this cleared up?
I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with our representative here from the board, Mr. Udom Bedford. His office is on the promenade.
Does it seem hot in here to you?
I ain't felt so much as a tepid breeze in weeks. I hope Miss Chief Tennyson gets that fixed soon.
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard in high summer, so guess I can't complain.
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Ms. Elson, I'm sure whatever critical problem needs fixing will get patched in time.
Whew. I'm starting to feel like a sisty roast in all this armor.
I'm off.
Have yourself a pleasant day.
Quest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If caught inside, you will be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice. It said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters.
You know...
I wonder why it lets me take these.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hardworking citizens. This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
Halcyon News. Chairman salutes Earth Minister Clark. Chairman Rockwell took the time out from his busy schedule today to talk to us about Minister Clark and his impact on the colony. Working with Minister Clark has been truly wonderful these past 8 years, he said. His predecessors did a fine job, but Clark's brilliance cannot be overstated. The early retirement program is just the latest in a long line of initiatives he has spearheaded that will ensure Halcyon continues to be the envy of all the outer colonies. We couldn't agree more, Mr. Chairman. Halcyon News. Media circus surrounds circus time clowns. The politics of Tossball have grown increasingly turbulent as of late, with the circus time clowns trading out every single member of the team. Asked to comment on the upheaval, the Owners League released a statement stating that the clowns' failure to reach the finals was a deciding factor in their organizational rearrangement. When questioned about the values of this overhauled team, a representative from the clowns stated that their goals remain the same as ever. Toss, ball, win, repeat. What's this? Rest and go key card.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information needed to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings
arrest
to your
us
local
on
organization.
our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junling's ship. You don't own shit here.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
I think it...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
Alex isn't important. I'm here to turn in Phileas Wellis.
What?
I saw Wellis's wanted poster and I wanted to claim the bounty.
Amazing! I didn't think those things worked. Mostly people draw funny faces on them. Oh, and there we are. I've removed the lock on your ship in a show of my gratitude. An apprehension of this caliber will be tremendous for my career. I'll send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium, only... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, let me guess, there's a catch.
Just a teensy one, the teensiest. Nothing to, lie awake worrying about for nights on end or anything. The thing is, I needed money. A lot of money, quickly, for reasons.
So far, so entirely expected. What happened?
I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fence here on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize the paperwork you'll need to turn Phineas in without it.
Stray too much from the, straight and narrow, and one may just find himself assigned pastoral duty in a maximum security penitentiary.
To give away something so important to you, there must have been some curious reasons.
I'll thank you not to question my motives, young miss. It was a mistake, and I'd like to put it behind me. It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such a dubious moral character. I was going to buy it back once I raised the capital. So you'll need to get my seal back from her if you want to hand Phineas over to the board.
So before I can do the board a favor and turn over Wellis, I need to do you a favor first.
That's the long and short of it, yes.
Forget it then, I won't turn Phineas in.
You probably don't even know where Wells is. None of my contacts ever pan out. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
We're leaving. So basically we got our ship unlifted for nothing. That's very, very interesting. Skills. Let's do one more of this to get it to 50. And then... guess dialogue. This game seems like dialogue's pretty important. Combat dialogue abilities. You have unlocked a dialogue combat skill. When attacking the correct type of target, they are automatically debilitated. Okay, I don't know what that means. How do we get this holographic shroud? Let's do this one first.
Are you listening to me, Emperor? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Umfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place.
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Maybe I can look in on Jessie?
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
Something I can help you with?
I'd like to see Jessie Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
The records say? Have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying.
Can I buy supplies from you? You seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
How do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable.
Okay.
Take care.
Good luck getting to Jessie, and better luck if you do. She's a real piece of work.
Unauthorized personnel in restricted areas will be shot on sight without question. You can either fight, sneak, or use the holographic shroud to get through the restricted areas. Post-mortem fines will be paid by the closest living relative.
You're a deft hand with a mag pick.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Squatter's Journal. I served on 2 corporate freighters before I got stranded here. Everyone's heard my sob story, but no one's listening. To them, I'm just background radiation. Wasn't my fault the captain decided to take off early. Wasn't my fault no one checked the crew manifest. Wasn't my fault they replaced me with a full-timer. Now I'm filthy, bitless, and bedless. As far as anyone's concerned, I'm Groundbreaker trash. That's how I live. And if no one agrees to take me on as crew, I suppose that's how I'll die.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first. Coaches and referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All news that's fit to broadcast.
I knew I should have got that rest and go. Now I have to go back and get it.
If it's between the unreliable and the rest and go, I believe I'll sleep on the ship.
When might we expect you out?
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast.
This is Halcyon News.
XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Concerned citizens often have
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
Zymoxy, nice place you got here, Chief.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
I'll do whatever I can to help you keep the peace.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Now that my ship's out of impound, I can safely say I'm headed for Monarch.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
It seems kind of warm in here. What's going on?
Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
Why haven't you fixed them yet?
Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Is there no room for compromise?
None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive.
You need a contractor to work this out. I'm available for a reasonable rate.
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays.
The back bays? Am I supposed to know where that is?
Sorry, I forget not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now.
Have you tried sending anyone else down there to get the parts?
I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable.
None taken.
Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding.
Couldn't we try to talk this out with whoever's down there?
Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts.
I'll get you those parts from the back bays.
Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs. This whole deck smells like ass. Only gonna get worse if I don't get those radiators fixed.
Parvati, you wanted to talk to June Lei. Go ahead.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Parvati, don't be shy about requesting time off if you need to compare notes in person.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry.
Nice job, Parvati.
Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
You don't have a lot of faith in the board.
You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
How do you keep the board at a safe distance?
I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change.
You must not like Undum Bedford very much.
I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udam Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters.
Back to my other questions.
You've got my attention.
What's it like being in command around here?
Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
Parvati here could always help you shoulder the burden.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out.
This ship is a family business?
Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gaying, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer.
Was it a big change, that transition to command?
It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer the tough questions for me. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about.
Back to my other questions.
You've got my attention.
We'll be on our way.
This is Halcyon News.
CNP Borscht pockets can be microwaved in 2.5 seconds.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Wheeler says your shipment won't be coming soon.
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you need mechanicals for?
Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why's that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
I could try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
ID cartridge. You have found an ID cartridge to use with the holographic shroud. You will now be automatically disguised when entering the associated restricted area. I have to get that shroud still.
Who wants to play an impromptu tossball match? No one? Really?
Oh, I knew that guy was gonna be here.
Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just admiring your ship from up close. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me.
Were you stalking me? I don't appreciate being stalked.
What? No. No. Okay, yeah, maybe a little. I'm not trying to be all creepy like, I just want to make a good case for myself. Just give me a shot, that's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired.
Alright, Felix, tell me why I should hire you.
You're serious, you're giving me a shot. All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there, I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang.
I'm enjoying this, go on.
Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
Sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress.
Let him continue.
Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang. I look forward to our adventures together.
I thought that was real good, Felix.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think? Am I in?
Dragging off bodies, shootouts? The hell kind of ship do you think I'm running?
The fun kind? I mean, what else do you do when you got a ship of your own?
Good answer. Welcome aboard.
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this.
We'll see you in the ship, Felix.
I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
Really? We're picking up strays now?
Look at that. A real vicar. I'm sure we'll get along like a church on fire.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that long chats with Ada are not required every time the captain leaves the ship? We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout.
For what it's worth, I appreciate you pulling me out of the Hope.
Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals.
I wanted to talk to you about something else.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Is there some reason you're hiding behind bulletproof glass?
Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper.
Got a moment to talk?
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Have you met my crew yet?
No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy.
Relax. They're with me.
Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, I am pleased that you found a crew, such as they are. You're a natural leader, after all. Law knows Halcyon's in need of real leaders.
You're right, I'm doing pretty well for myself.
Yes, indeed. Well done. Also, you still haven't spontaneously liquefied, which pleases me immensely. Progress.
There was something else I wanted to talk to you about.
What's on your mind?
I'll be back. Hibernation chamber. You spent over 4 decades in space with nothing but the technology of this little chamber keeping you alive. The rest of your fellow colonists are still trapped in slumber chambers waiting for you to restore them.
Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%. Careful, that's my communications terminal.
Back for a rest? Space adventuring is tiring work.
Dang, that's a big gun. Man, maybe we'll find this holographic shroud in this next episode. Until then.